I'm Carol Angela Davis. Thank you for joining me for your reality news check. It's Monday. It is February 13th, 2012. We begin as we always do with your headlines. Folks, the Republicans have bent over. We'll tell you about it. It has to do with the payroll tax hike. Also today, news on a possible cause of death for Whitney Houston and some other craziness. Well, you know, the rumors abound. We'll tell you about them. Also today, more drama at the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And finally, Wall Street is throwing money, folks, and I don't mean throwing money at the Republicans in the race for the presidency 2012. Let's begin with House Republicans. They are saying today that they are dropping their demand that the payroll tax be offset. Republicans now offering a measure to extend the current payroll tax cut for the rest of the year. A vote could happen as early as this week. Also, let's turn now to Whitney Houston, folks, on the death of an absolute legend. I don't know about you, but I certainly shed a tear for Whitney Houston last night. It broke my heart and hurt my heart that she is gone, that we have lost such an incredible, phenomenal performer, and of course for her dear, dear, dear daughters. Folks, Whitney Houston, well, reports now out that the mega songstress may have drowned, folks. Apparently, when paramedics arrived at her hotel suite, they did find her unresponsive in the bathtub. An autopsy reportedly was complete yesterday, but still, any conclusions about her death won't be made until the results of toxicology tests come in, and that takes about 6 to 8 weeks. So we'll find out, of course, what else is going on there. Now, there are some questions on the table. The first, of course, is what was Whitney Houston doing in the hours before she passed away? Also, did Whitney Houston have any underlying medical conditions? Now, there are some reports out that indicate that Houston was acting strangely in the days before her death. Some reportedly say she was seen skipping around a ballroom and reportedly doing handstands near the hotel pool. I mean, hey, if she can do that, I take my hat off to her. I mean, let's look at what Madonna did. I mean, come on. That doesn't mean that she is bonkers or on some sort of a drug binge. It could mean that she was just having some fun at 48. I'm not mad at her. Also today, she did apparently appear disheveled in mismatched clothes with hair that was dripping wet. Now, if the hair dripping wet was seen at the poolside, well then, hey, a no-brainer there. Of course her hair would be wet. Well, another report out says that at the rehearsals before the event where journalists were in attendance and interviewing other singers, Houston was dancing just off camera to make the singers laugh. Apparently, Grammy personnel expressed concern that she would be caught on camera and that reporters would write about her behavior. Well, clearly Whitney was used to people writing about her behavior her entire life, so clearly she wasn't concerned about that. So, you know, you never know, but apparently there is no indication of foul play in her death. At the end of the day, folks, she's still gone. We love her. We love you, Whitney. We're so sorry that you're gone, and we have all of our thoughts and all of our prayers go out to your family, and most of all, again, to your daughter. We are with her in this we know it's very difficult to lose your mother, so we're with you, girl. All right, turning now to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Now word out that founder Nancy Brinker may be in a bit of hot water. This, of course, is after Komen halted contributions to Planned Parenthood and then had to rescind that order after a humongous public outcry, okay? So what's this? Well, word is that Brinker billed the charity for $133,000 in expenses at a time when she was working full-time somewhere else. According to the Daily Beast, Brinker's employees also, they're all grinding axes about her now. They say she's an imposing figure, I guess so, who flies first class, prefers 5-star hotels, and generally exhibits an entitled air. She is independently wealthy in her own right. They say that her whole demeanor is at odds with the organization's mission. Apparently, employees don't call her Nancy. They are expected to call her Ambassador Brinker. Well, she is the former ambassador to Hungary. So, I mean, come on. Let's face it, folks. She founded Komen 30 years ago and has raised more than $1.9 billion for cancer research and created a network of more than 100,000 volunteers. Folks, that's no small feat. Let me tell you, no matter what you think of Nancy Brinker, to do that job, she probably does have a certain kind of demeanor because, folks, that's what it takes, okay? Susan G. Komen was her sister. She died of breast cancer when she was in her mid-30s, and you should know that Nancy Brinker is herself a breast cancer survivor. Now, apparently, she earns more than $400,000 a year from the Susan G. Komen Foundation, but, folks, that is not out of line with other organizations of her stature. So she's not that she's earning too much money. The question is, did she bill the foundation for $133,000 in expenses from June 2007 to January 2009? If so, that could be a problem because she was also a full-time federal employee serving as a chief of protocol for the State Department. President Bush nominated her for that position. That was in June 2007. She held that job until January 2009. If it is a problem, it's a problem. But so far, folks, it's not illegal. So, we'll just see what happens there. I think, she acknowledged that there was a problem pulling the money from Planned Parenthood. She did rescind, and they got rid of the lady who caused all that drama. So, frankly, folks, I don't have a problem with her. All right, finally today, the financial services sector is hopping mad at President Obama, folks. They are throwing money at the GOP, and one thing we know about those Wall Street folks, they got more money than anybody. So they aren't hurting for cash. In fact, folks, they are awash in cash. You betcha. So they can afford to take that hit the president wants them to take. And they're mad about it. They're so greedy. They don't want to help anybody but themselves, okay? So far, in the race for the presidency 2012, employees of securities and investment firms, guess what, folks? They've already given $52.8 million, folks. Can you believe that? To candidates and party committees. Wall Street, of course, angry because the White House wants to roll back key parts of the Dodd-Frank financial reforms. So they're mad, so they're going to throw money at the Republicans to try to make it so they can do their dirty dealings. The Republicans, they want the Republicans to get in so they can continue the dirty dealings that brought this country down. No, it's not going to happen, okay? Obama himself, you should know, he has raised just $5.1 million from the finance, insurance, and real estate sectors. And folks, that is compared with $12.4 million for Mitt Romney, okay? And we know who Mitt Romney is. He is one of their own when it comes to Wall Street and the financial services industry, okay? He is a former private equity executive and, of course, the founder of Bain Capital. His super PAC, it's called Restore Our Future. As just like all the super PACs, it can raise unlimited sums of money from individuals and organizations. And so far, folks, that super PAC has brought in $30.1 million, and that was just as of December 31st, 2011. Apparently, several executives from Bain Capital themselves wrote checks totaling $2 million. Okay, all that money went to Romney's super PAC. As for President Obama, folks, you should know he's going to need about $1 billion to compete with the GOP super PACs. When does that come into play? It really comes into play in buying those advertising campaigns and ad dollars in markets across the U.S. So he is going to need that money. So if you're for Obama, you better step up. I think it's $5, whatever it is, you better step up because he's going to need the money. Those are your stories. I'm Carol Angela Davis. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of your Reality News Check. I'll see you next time. Have a good day.